because, you, well, you you're throwing away something that was very dear to me, and we had an extensive conversation about that. I was concealing what I was doing. I didn't want to hurt you. Didn't want you to know what was going on. But then when I went into treatment in 1988, you were the impetus for that. You were the spur for that. You were the prick for that. You were the one. Let's talk to that wife out there, that husband out there who's living with an addict, and because I had shared this over the many times, the radio listening audience, how I was so caught up in my drinking and drugging that I had told you that if you ever told anybody, especially the bishop, that I was using, that I would kill you. Do you remember that?
Yes, but let's move before that.
Okay.
When I found out, I mean, that's was very hard for me because
What was very hard?
Felt for you to have told me, and I didn't feel I had any support. I didn't want to tell anybody. First of all, you're a pastor, so you're my pastor. So who do I go to for help? And then I didn't want to involve my family because, in a sense, I didn't want them to feel negatively towards you. And so what I did is I just happened to work somewhere where some information came across my desk about substance abuse. And what the information had was information about professionals who suffered from the disease of addiction. And one of the areas of professionals it had for ministers and pastors. So I called this gentleman and told him what was happening. And so at that time, you agreed to meet with him and get counseling.
This was the Episcopal priest, is that right?
Yes, this was an Episcopal priest.
Right.
And so you went to counseling. But what happened is I'm thinking you're going to counseling on a regular basis, and you weren't. And then I found I think it was alcohol in the refrigerator, and in the freezer I think you had frozen some drugs or whatever. And so then I said, okay, he's not you're not stopping. So that's when I decided I for one thing, I'm not a codependent. I didn't grow up like this. This wasn't going to be a part of my family. I wouldn't have knowingly married an addict. So I said, I'm out of here. And so I made arrangements to find an apartment for me and my son. And then I called the counselor and asked him if he knew of any divorce lawyers so I could get that process going. Well, what he said is he salvageable?
That's a very powerful question, and that's a question that needs to be asked by those who are in the position that you were in. Is your spouse